Whether you're a fan of Bitcoin or you're not, this story should concern you a little bit. I know when I read it, I thought to myself, how much money have they weaseled away from my own savings, my own account, by leaking a story like this or by creating fear in the market like the way they have here? I'm going to go over that with you guys today. We're talking JP Morgan and a little bit of an outflow of people that are investing with JP Morgan because of this story that came out late last night, early this morning. And it's talking about JP Morgan being accused of manufacturing the October 10th crash using a 42-day-old document. So they used the document that was a little bit older. We'll go over that today. And again, if you're not a Bitcoin person, this still affects you because they can easily do this with any stock out there, and people are, going to eat it up. So let's go over the article real quick here, and then I've got a few things to go over with you. By the way, my name is Mike. Channel's name is Health and Wealth. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are building the community up here. More and more people are subscribing every single week here. So thank you so much for doing that on our quest to be a dominant force in the Canadian world. I'm currently ranked, believe it or not, 3,338th place out of all Canadian YouTubers in terms of subscribers. It's insane to think about. And it shows that it's really not that hard to get there either. But I guess that, yeah, there you go. That's pretty neat. So thanks for subscribing, hitting the like button. So here's the article that I'm reading on Yahoo Finance. JP Morgan accused of orchestrating October 10 crypto crash by recycling 42-day-old MSCI document warning of micro strategies. So I know a lot of you were or are invested in one of the ETFs from YieldMax called Misty, which follows micro strategy really closely. It's funny that we're still calling it micro strategy in articles, considering they changed their name to strategy. But it says delisting risks, right? Triggering a $19 billion liquidation cascade. Holy smokes. So let's go over it. Analysts at Bitcoin for corporations have accused JP Morgan Chase of causing the October 10 crypto market crash, citing a 42-year-old document that preceded the $19 billion liquidation cascade. Adrian, an analyst at Bitcoin for corporations, said October 10 crash feels manufactured. He pointed at JP Morgan investor note, warning that MicroStrategy, which is now Strategy, risks being dropped from the MSCI USA and NASDAQ 100 indexes, estimating $2.8 billion in outflow for the largest Bitcoin corporate holder. That's insane. That's crazy. Now, one thing I'm going to note to you, the CEO, I think he's the CEO of JP Morgan Invest. His name is Jamie Dimon. He's notorious for saying he doesn't believe in Bitcoin, right? He won't invest in it, doesn't want to invest in it, doesn't like it. And if he does, he's not going to like it, that sort of thing. So I find it really funny that these are the ones that are behind this, if it's true, right? It's articles written here. I don't know. Is there proof? Who knows, right? But this document has been public for 42 days. The market ignored it for 6 weeks, they say. So now, suddenly, after several red days in November, JP Morgan dug it up to FUD fears of delisting risk, ? They recycled an expired story to accelerate a sell-off. That's what Adrian said. Not me. I'm just reading it, right? Timeline exposes JP Morgan coordinated attack on Bitcoin Treasuries company. Adrian alleged that that timed release of the document by MSCI, Morgan Stanley Capital International, was an attack on mstr and the digital asset treasury company. They want you to think that this delisting decision is organic. The timeline proves it's discriminatory theater. So just a lot of stuff about that in here. So you can see May 14th when Jim Chanos announced his long Bitcoin short on mstr trade, which Adrian called a blatant attempt to sway the market sentiment. 2 months later, on July 7th, JP Morgan implemented a firm-wide margin hike on mstr, trading from 50 to 95%. I know some of you know this already, right? You've dealt with it. A move Adrian described as choking off leverage to force liquidation and manufacturers selling pressure. Wow, that's crazy. And I know I've heard this before from a number of people. Yep, that's very well known. So the situation escalated on September 12th when Metaplanet announced a capital raise, prompting what Adrian claims was an MSCI panic over companies adopting the Sailor playbook at scale. And so, if you don't really know much about the Sailor playbook, I'm going to give you a dumbed down version right now. It's basically selling your um, uh, some of your company's value to buy Bitcoin, that sort of thing, right? The timeline culminated on October 10th when MSCI announced an extension of its consultation, exactly 16 minutes before President Trump's tariff announcement at 4:50 p.m., and that triggered the crypto flash crash. So this is what we've been going through now since around October 10th. Here's Bitcoin right here. Check it out, right? It was on its way up here, all the way up to 124,000. That was at all-time highs back in October. Just a day or two later. Hold on one second. Let me look at my calendar right now. Yeah. So October 10th was a Friday. So right here, 121,000, all the way down to lows of um, well, down $36,000 or 30% in that time. Like that's insane, right? And since this article came out and Trump tweeted, it's a good time to buy, colluding with the world and his buddies over at JP Morgan. The market is up. Bitcoin is up. mstr is up. Misty is up because of this story, because of tweets going out from the president on Truth Social, things like that. Yeah, so take a look, right? mstr today up 4 point. You know what? Let's do a refresh here. Up 4.34. Misty itself up even more than mstr is, up 4.47%, all because of a couple tweets. I went cruising around the internet today trying to find more information about this. I also went to Twitter because Twitter has the best information in the world, most accurate. Joking. That's a joke. Here we go. 12 minutes. JP Morgan charged with manufacturing October 10th crash with 42-day-old document. So there we go. We talked about that already, right? A lot of stuff going off on Twitter about JP Morgan. From what I'm reading, a lot of people are pulling their investments from JP Morgan because of this collusion. And we're just the little guy over here that has to deal with the amount of money that's getting pulled from our accounts because they want to collude potentially. They want to go ahead and manipulate the market, and that definitely appears to be what they're doing here by manufacturing this story. And again, they are well known for not liking crypto. And for me, that just makes me want to buy more Bitcoin, right? That makes me want to dive into it even deeper here. That makes me want to buy mstr over here. And I mean, I love a good fight, but will that be a good idea for mstr to be fighting with JP Morgan? One of the heavyweights, like the heavyweight out there, one of the heavyweights out there, right? But you can see here tons and tons of tweets. Here we go, exposing Jamie Dimon and bankrupt JP Morgan, right? So they want Michael Saylor to do that. And then Michael Saylor put this out today. Probably nothing, he said. Bitcoin backed credit weekly volume. So you can see here massive jump over the last week of that Bitcoin backed credit weekly volume there. So he's got all of his companies sitting right here. Not all of them. Some of his companies sitting right here. But October 10th, right? Look at that, minus 34%. And then it steadily went uphill after that. So interesting to kind of know about, to learn about. Yeah, I mean, who wants to deal with this, right? All I want to do is invest in good companies. I want to invest in future producing markets, and having rich heavyweights of the world manipulate the market is definitely a hindrance, right? So if I had any money with JP Morgan, it would be gone right now. I wouldn't even think twice about it. There's so many great options out there. Putting my money in JP Morgan is not one of those options, that's for sure. Yolmax actually has a JPMO fund. If I had my money in that, I'd pull it from that too. But this isn't advice, just entertainment. Me reading websites and just kind of informing you stuff that you may not know already. So if you found that interesting, let me know in the comments what you think. I really like. I'm going to put it back up here for a second. I'm just doing more scrolling there. Boycott JP Morgan, close your account, move your money, tell your friends, right? And so that's basically what we're doing right now. Let me know your feelings on this. Even if you're not with Bitcoin in your world, this still affects you because they can do it with literally any company, any stock out there and mess with your money. My name is Mike. The channel's name is Health and Wealth. I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.